Hi everyone, I'm Milli from Cranbourne Libraries. This is just a short video to get you started writing the best entry you can for our poetry competition. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what poetry is, how to find inspiration and how to edit. So, poetry is a really unique style of writing that allows us to break free from rules and fully express ourselves. When we're writing poetry, we don't have to write in full sentences that start with a capital letter and end with a full stop, though you can if you want to. You write in lines which can be as long or as short as you like. Poems come in all shapes and sizes. When you're writing poetry, it's more about what sounds and looks good to you as the poet rather than what's right or wrong. So, as I was saying, you write these beautiful lines and then they're broken up into paragraphs called stanzas, and this is a really good way to organize your ideas, but you can do that however you like. Poems that have no rules are called free verse poems, and those are my favourite kind of poems to write. But you might have heard of some kinds of poetry that do have rules, and I'll talk to you a little bit about a couple of them now. So, you've probably heard about limericks, which are poems that have 5 lines, where the first, second and fifth line in the poem rhyme, and they're often really funny and unexpected kind of poems. Another kind of poem with rules is a haiku, which is a 3-line poem where the first line has 5 syllables, the second line has 7, and the third line also has 5 syllables. And those are really nice, relaxing, meditative kind of poems. Before you get started writing, you might want to use a book or the internet to research and read some poetry and find out what your favourite kind is, and remember that you can submit whatever kind of poem you like to this competition. Once you've got a feel for poetry and the kind of poem that you might want to write, it's time to find some inspiration if you don't already have an awesome idea. When you're thinking of ideas for poems, it's really good to start with thinking about the 5 senses: sight, hearing, taste, touch, and smell, and having a look at what's around you in your house, in your backyard, in your street, and thinking about what stands out to you and what words you could use to help a reader experience what you're experiencing. Poems usually capture one moment or character or idea. They're also really good for expressing emotions and letting the reader really learn something about the writer and your experiences. You can also write poems that you find inspiration through your imagination for. So anything that you can think up, you can write a poem about that. Lots of poems are also about dreams or daydreams and trying to describe the magical world of dreams. So that's another really good place to start when you're looking for inspiration. Once you've written something that you're pretty happy with, now is the time to edit. So editing is the process of looking back at what you've written, maybe sharing it with some people, and trying to make it as good as you possibly can. Because poetry is meant to be read aloud a lot of the time, a really good way to edit your poem is to read it out loud to yourself in the mirror, to a family member or a friend, see what they think, but mostly you should be listening out for all the different repeating sounds and patterns that give your poem a rhythm, almost like a song, and making sure that it sounds good to you as the poet. Once you're sure that it sounds and looks really good on the page, you can check any words that you're not sure of the spelling of in a dictionary, on the computer, or by asking somebody. And that's it. That's a really basic guide of how to write a poem. Once you've written the poem for this competition, you can use what you've learnt to write poems about anything you like, and I think it's a lot of fun. Thanks.